Hey yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Seats in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life, man. And welcome to another show of Just the Thought. You know what I'm saying? The number one podcast in the world. You know what I'm talking about? And it's featuring me, your boy Jarmel Seats, your gracious host. You know what I'm saying? And tonight, man, I'm gonna have another guest in tonight. You know what I'm saying? A very special guest. And man, we're gonna chop it up, and our subject of tonight is gonna be resolving issues without involving emotions. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna get into tonight, man. We got a real fun show, man. It's gonna be great conversation, man. Y'all come back. I'm gonna come back in with the intro like we always do at this time. You know what I'm saying? I had this dream that forever changed my life, and the earth was blowing up, and it was rocks just coming down and explosions and volcanoes blowing up and car crashes and all these different type of things. And I was floating up in this bubble that I couldn't get out of. And I was floating up, and I was trying to reach for my wife and my kids, and I couldn't get them. And I couldn't get them. And I just kept on kicking, trying to save them, and they were just sinking up, and I was sinking forward, going into this light. Like I was leaving this hell and going into this light. And I woke up. Around this time, I was never telling anybody. I told one person, I was having anxiety. I was having thoughts of me dying. I couldn't sleep. News article, you're reading somebody else's feelings about a situation that happened. You see somebody getting shot, and you see this, and you see the caption, and now you're taking on all these different perspectives of what everybody else's outview, and you didn't even get a chance to even wake up and see how you felt about the world today. You never even get a chance to even wake up and see how you're really, 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 truly feeling. Because the first thing you do is take on someone else's feelings. Back in there, baby. Hey, yo, welcome back, man. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Seats, man. Welcome back to the show. It's another show of Just a Thought. You know what I'm saying? And today, so I got me a special guest. I'm gonna bring my special guests in, like I do always, man. I kind of let my guests, they so special. I let them introduce themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, I be so happy to just be able to be in these people's presence, to be able to do something with them. So let me bring my guests in today. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can hear you. So you know what I'm saying? Like we are all the way live. Hey yo, please say your name and state, what it is that you do. Now you don't even gotta go to what you do, but just state your name, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so my name is Oracle. I'm also happy to be in your presence as well. Mr. Reese, you are dynamic and amazing. Yeah, my name is Oracle, and I'm here
Yeah.
to share the vibes.
No doubt, man. I mean, for real, this is she's being real modest. So, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and bring her up. You know what I'm saying? This is a songstress. Like when I say the girl can sing, when you talk back in the day, she be like, she can sing, you know what I mean? She can
Yes.
is just multi-talented, and also just a fascinating person, you know what I mean? When I first met you, I just thought you had this just very beautiful spirit, you know what I mean? And it was just gracious to be able to meet you. Like I always tell people, I got me and your first encounter on videotape. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like you,
Included.
no doubt, ain't no doubt. So you know what I'm saying? Just let people know a little bit about what it is that you do, and musically, and all those different things and those aspects of you.
Okay, absolutely. So first and foremost, I tell people, let them know all the time that I'm a poet first.
Mm-hmm.
I started my journey in poetry, in spoken word, performing, and just helping people to understand the light within themselves through my verbiage, through my vernacular, and orating in a way that nobody else can do but me. Um, Secondly, I'm kind of like self taught and classically trained in playing guitar. And
Mm.
so I've combined that with my own vocal presence as far as singing and just creating music that's meant to inspire and uplift and to help people to learn who they are through the sonic vibrations of love.
Yeah.
I am also a mother, of course. I have three beautiful children. That's probably one of the most spectacular gifts about myself that I could ever have received was
Hmm.
being able to mother children. And I'm a teacher as well. I
Yeah.
am in the education system. I teach English, of course, because I love words, I love verbiage, I love being able to use this language that we've been given in the best way possible to structure our sentences and our thoughts in a way that helps us to best express who we are, like I said, with the language that we've been given. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's hey, look, that's super dope because it's very important educational wise that our kids are learning and always being planted with seeds.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
and me and you talk about that all the time. Like I think the spiritual aspect of school um it definitely lacks, but with bringing people in, somebody like yourself, you know what I'm saying, you're able to talk to the kids and not only just talk to them and tell them, hey, sit down, cool out, this and this, but tell them breathe.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
let's sit down and let's sit down and do some meditation. Let's cut some.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
If I may, I'd like to guide us through a couple seconds of that as well. Always like to usher in spirit whenever we get ready to do anything. So if you could join me, I would be so grateful.
Oh, hold on, Queen. You ain't said nothing but a word. You ain't said nothing but a word. Hold on. Let me find out if I can find my singing bowl. All right, my little daughter probably just stole my singing bowl, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, come on, let's get it. Let's go.
That's good. I'm glad your daughter has your singing bowl. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna place our left hand over our heart because our
Okay.
left hand is closest to the heart vibration, and the right hand over the womb. And we're gonna inhale, expanding the diaphragm, expanding the belly, inhaling deeply. And then when we exhale, we're going to press all the air out and release all the energy, the tension of the day, and just completely and totally relax in the moment. Inhaling again to expand, opening up for expansion, lifting up the shoulders, opening up the heart, and receiving, opening up to receive. And exhaling to release all doubts, fears, and shortcomings, all the misconceptions that we once believed about the self. We let them go now with a deep exhale. On the last inhale, we're going to take in gratitude. Thanks, Spirit, for this moment. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for the dynamic doors that you're getting ready to open for us. Thank you for walking us into another phase of our life. Inhale. And exhale all the doors that are closing behind us, letting go of all things that no longer serve us, and making space and room and opportunity. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Woo.
You.
Look, I done came back into a whole nother universe.
Absolutely. It's definitely meant to bring you back. And I do that with my students. I do that with myself often because it's so important, to just give ourselves the opportunity for a reset and doing that several times throughout the day because there's so many different moments where we actually need to reset. So, yes, thank you for joining me.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for having me. Of
Nah. Thank you for that because
course.
bringing in that spirit. You know what I'm saying, and always remembering that connecting to that breath and just being able to be connected. You know what I'm saying. I think that's important. I think our children definitely need that type of stuff, especially like I say in the educational realm where you're at. Just being able to allow them to be able to think for a moment.
Yeah,
I think more people don't think. They think more than they actually do. And
Absolutely.
the reality of it is that when we really step back and we look at all these things, we have to learn how to be able to be accountable. We have to be present and be there in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
thank
Of
you for all
course.
that stuff. Thank you for all that stuff that you're doing inside of the schools and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree with you as far as like they're not necessarily being a spiritual presence in the school system currently. But I definitely know for sure that my presence there is to bring some balance into the situation because I may not be able to legally express my perspectives or my beliefs on spirituality or the way that I move and have my being, but I can show up in the fullness of it.
Yeah.
Showing up in the fullness of it speaks louder than anything coming from me vocally. My actions, um, the way that I interact with each and every one of those students, they all have different personalities, different perspectives, different needs. And so, me being there alone is enough to offset and off kilter anything that comes through, and being able to just create in those moments opportunities for those students to learn from me. It's definitely been an adventure to say the least.
Yeah, I bet it has. I bet
To
it
say
has.
the least.
I bet it has. So check this out. Look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a commercial real quick. We're gonna do a couple
Cool.
commercials and then we're gonna come right back and then we're gonna get into the just the thought question of the night. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Thank
For,
you.
for sure, for sure. Him, blessings on me, nothing but blessings on me. Blessings on her, she, bless what she see, bless what she hear, what she see. Blessings on we, bless what we speak, bless what we hear, what we speak.
Hey, hold
Blessings on
on. Hey, yo, where y'all get them
blessings
shirts
on me,
from?
nothing but
Oh
blessings
man,
on
you
me.
can just
Check me
go
out
right here
now.
and
Please
scan
believe
this.
it's gonna
Okay.
get airplay. Please believe you're gonna see me one day. Take my style, come
Yeah.
I
back,
got
then
it.
you go
Thank
away.
you.
Turn
All right, peace
around
out,
and give it
Queen.
back
Thank you
to
so
me
much.
anyway. Why? Cause you can't play me, nigga. Why? Cause I'm not like these niggas. Nine gods. It's more than a shoe. It's your own you. So yo, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? We had to pay the bills, baby. You know what I'm saying? We had to pay the bills, man. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all get over there to Nine Collections. You know what I'm saying? And go get y'all a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, what you laughing for? You know what I'm talking about? Hey, we gotta pay the
Yes.
bills, baby. We gotta pay the
It's so
bills.
true.
Hey, straight up, my kids gotta eat. So you know what I'm saying. If y'all ever, when y'all want to be able to donate to Jarmel Reese in the podcast, you know what I'm saying, man, y'all can always go to jarmelreese.live. You could donate, and also I put a cash app or something up there too as well. You know what I'm saying. So hey yo, but check this out, man. We finna get into the just the thought question of the night. You know what I'm saying, and so this is what we're gonna do. The just the thought question of the night. Do you believe that resolving issues with emotions has major effects on our lives?
That's for me. You're posing a question
That's
for
for
me.
you.
Okay.
That's for you.
Of course, because it's just me and you. Okay, hold on, wait, let me bring it back to
It
me.
ain't
I
nobody
was
but
so
me and
lost in the
you.
commercials; they were so great.
We had to pay the
Okay.
bills, baby.
Okay, so do I think that resolving issues with emotions has an effect on our lives?
A major effect on our lives.
A major effect
Yeah.
because the fact that we're using the emotions to resolve the issue and it never works.
Mm-hmm.
It never works. If you're going to be emotional about a situation, if you allow your emotions to speak before your intellect gets the opportunity to work through you, you're going to continuously, majorly, effortlessly impact your life in a way that's not favorable to you.
Yeah.
So it's so important for us to be able in those moments to slow down, take a step back, separate our emotions from whatever conflict has faced us and triggered us into feeling emotional in whatever way. The emotions themselves don't necessarily have an identity.
Mm-hmm.
It is just energy in motion. We, as the human, entered into the situation, we identify the emotions or that energy in motion as such: fear, anger, sorrow, joy,
Yeah.
comfort. We begin to label and identify what that emotion is. We send that signal to the body, and the body produces the reaction to that.
Yeah.
So, if we can allow ourselves 90 seconds, that's all it takes. Literally by second 30, with a couple of inhalations and exhalations in the moment, um, we give ourselves the ability to resolve the conflict or whatever the situation is without those emotions taking precedence. Meaning
Yeah.
that I don't have to speak from an angry place. I don't have to respond from a sorrowful place. I don't have to respond from a joyful place. I don't have to respond from an agitated space. I don't have to respond from a stressed space. But the fact of the matter is, the reality in that moment, we feel those emotions. They come through right away.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to separate, if we're in conflict with somebody else, are these my emotions or theirs?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And one of the things I've learned is just sometimes the best things to do is just to stay still. When you don't know what to do, don't do nothing. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, people will try to rush emotions out of you,
Yeah.
rush things, you know what I'm saying? Like if a person calls me, it's like far as trying to get information, people try to get information from you and try to see where your emotions are at, you know what I'm saying, when you're not saying anything, when you're not doing these things. And the thing about it is that, you know, I've had to learn how to be able to let life come to me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of always thinking that I gotta run towards something, that I can always I can let it come to me, because
Yes.
now I can pick and choose, and I could be able to be like, you know what, this isn't an emotional decision. This was a decision based off of the fact that the writing's been on the wall right here, or this is
Yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying? And then being able to not only be able to see it, but to accept it.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I think that may be the thing about it when you're talking about dealing with people's emotions.
Hmm.
People aren't willing to. People are more willing to be emotional, but not willing to accept it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it feels like an attack on them personally.
Mhm.
Because their own body, their own receptors, their own flight or fight or flight, has been initiated.
Yeah,
So it feels like they're in attack mode, they're in defense mode. And so what happens is they begin to deflect. Deflection has become a normalcy in our society, as opposed to saying, hey, this is what I'm responsible for. This is what I take responsibility for. This is what I know I've handled in the situation that I can become better at. They
hmm,
say, you did this, you're doing this is happening, this is your fault, this is because of you, this is why this is happening. Learning to take accountability
yeah,
for your life, your actions, and your creative, we're all creative beings. So at every single moment, we're actively creating the next phase of our life.
absolutely. Hey, we got somebody. Sasha. She said there's a difference between being emotional, being emotions, and being emotional.
Absolutely, there is. Absolutely, there's a difference between the emotions and being emotional. The emotions, like I said, is energy in motion. The emotions are always flowing, they're always moving
Yeah,
because the thoughts are consistently and constantly flowing. There's a consistent rhythm, there's a consistent pattern to the thoughts, and each thought has an emotion attached to it.
yeah,
So you have to decide internally whether you're going to get involved in your mind first with whatever emotion is attached to that thought or to that stigma. And then
hmm,
reacting to that makes you emotional.
yeah,
Consistently reacting over and over and over again is creating you to be perceived as an emotional person.
hmm,
Whereas if you again allow yourself the time to really take a step back, I always think about the tortoise and the hare. right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
slow and steady wins the race. Being able to slow down in the moment. I know we talked about this before, but the example that I used was just being faced or challenged with somebody in the teaching field who has consistently seen patterns of teachers not showing up for her,
Mm-hmm.
not taking accountability for their part on the team, and then her immediately seeing me as a reflection of that, and being able to communicate. Here's a person standing going rah rah rah, and here I am saying, I understand what you're saying. I understand how you feel. This is what I'm communicating to you. That
Yeah.
I am someone that you can effectively communicate and work with, that you don't have to respond emotionally or be upset. So
Yeah.
I always go back to that that refrain. Like, if you see two fools, I mean, if you see two people arguing,
You
you
can't
can't
tell who the fool
differentiate,
is.
yeah, which one is the fool. You just see two people kind of going at it. But if you see somebody going rah rah rah, and there's a person standing here like this, then
It's
you're able to differentiate who's more in control of.
the situation and
Yeah,
it's in themselves. You know
I,
what's interesting about what you're saying is like, you know, most people don't they transfer energy to energy. And it's
absolutely
not really that they're emotional with you. They're emotional about a situation that was something similar to that. And
right,
now they're just taking that and they're not even it's going from face to face because it's not even that, it's them. It's inside of them.
right,
It's something that triggers them. Every time they see something like this, they get
right,
triggered. They get triggered. And it doesn't have a face to it. It's just an energy to it. And
right.
so, one thing about that is one of the things of okay, we get to the we have the problems and we have the emotions. Now how do we get past that? Because that's what we need to be discussing, like how do we get past that? And-
Solution orientation, right? It's always important to effectively create a solution. In that moment, being able to decipher, like I said, whose emotions are who. If
Mhm.
you give yourself those 90 seconds, breathing, because what happens is in these moments, like I always advise people to start paying attention to your breath because you'll notice that your breathing becomes a lot more shallow.
Mhm.
And it's like, because you feel your body going into these response mechanisms. It's automatically
Yeah.
kicking in. So if you could slow down your breath to respond the way in which you're making and creating more space, you're not allowing the energy to continuously rev up. We're like engines, and the breath controls the speed of the motor. So it's the gas pedal. If you want the car to slow down, then you have to apply a little bit of brake pressure. And it's air that's compressing and allowing those brakes to slow to a stop. So you have to allow for more airflow. So you have to literally, in that moment, when somebody's facing you or you're in those emotionally spice situations, is to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so easy to just to follow your mind or
Yeah,
whatever you think your mind is. Like I always try to tell people about the mind. They identify their mind with if I told you to draw your mind, you'll identify with the brain.
right,
And it's your mind isn't anything physical.
right,
It's an activity, and
right,
it's moving around, and it's this energy that's moving around you, and you just waiting on it, and you just catching it. It's the monkey mind. We think about it 10,000 thoughts a day. You know what I mean?
right.
And most of them are not real. And so a lot of people haven't figured out the fact that they're still doing these circles.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
and so with what you saying, that breathing and bringing that into to effect is always gonna be key and it's gonna be proper.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done
Yeah,
because we're trained to immediately react to the trigger.
right,
No, hold on, you
right,
got me mixed. You got hold on, wait a second.
yeah,
Like, no, I have to say my piece first. But I feel like I don't want to create more issues for myself.
mm-hmm,
So in that moment, if I remember, I don't want to go home and replay this scenario in my mind over and over and try to feel like, man, I could have reacted better. Man, I could have said or done this. Or
yeah,
man. So in that moment, I'm literally effectively telling myself, how do I want to feel when this is said and done?
Yeah, because
How
you
do
know
I
what?
want to think about myself when this is said and done? Go ahead.
What we do is we try to be able to say like we're the like the toughest words, right?
Mm-hmm.
We say the toughest things just to try to keep somebody off of us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell my daughter this. I be like, you know, that's the most hurt person in the room.
Yeah.
That's the
Absolutely.
person who's hurt. That's the one
Yes.
who always barking and telling you, ah,
Yes.
yeah, it is. Nah,
Yes.
that person right
Yes.
there, that yeah, they need to figure something out.
Yes. And that's another thing that I wrote down. Kindness for humanity. How many
Mm,
times have you been faced with somebody who was readily available to bite your head off?
mm.
How many times have you been faced with somebody who is readily available to be in Discord with you? They
Woo,
created an app called Discord. How many times have you been faced with somebody who was immediately triggered and ready to snap on you? So I
man.
can look at that person and say, you know what? I understand what you're going through.
Mm,
And I'm here for you. I hear you. I see you. You're important to me. And I understand exactly where you're coming from. This is how we can resolve or come to a common understanding, you and I. Because I know exactly where you are. I've seen how it hurt you to feel that way. And
yeah,
I'm different. There's no way other for me to say or to feel like I'm different other than to be different.
yeah. But you know that's that right there. That's that self growth.
Yes, it
You
takes
know,
a lot of self growth. It
because the
takes a lot of self work.
oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
you
We
know,
listen. Let it be known that we're not talking about nothing else
nah,
but internal work.
that you can't buy that at a store.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You can't go to the liquor store and be like, yo, let me get a pack of self worth.
Yeah.
Nah, they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta straight up become that, you know what I mean? And you gotta straight
Absolutely.
up, you gotta put that what's that whole body, the
Yeah.
whole armor on. You gotta and
Absolutely.
you gotta live in within it, you know what I'm saying? So hey, you
Absolutely.
speaking that language tonight, right? You know what I'm saying? People gonna have to go back in and to be honest with you, you know, um, if we didn't learn anything from being disconnected for a shorter period of time, man, we should have learned how to be able to love on ourselves. I tell people if you didn't learn
Absolutely.
something from COVID,
Absolutely.
you really you missed it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Indeed. Um, it's not going to happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight because we have now trained ourselves to be reactive.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have to go in, the mind is a computer, find those files, take them out, but then replace them with a file that's going to actually upgrade the system.
Man, you gotta
That's going to
upgrade.
actually recode the system. That's going to actually enter a part of yourself that's going to make you feel better. Even when I get into a situation where I say, you know what, I didn't respond the best, I'm going to stop and take a moment and evaluate what could I have done better? How did I allow that person's emotions to become my own? I always start my day like this. Very positive, very energetic, knowing that I've gotten up, I've taken care of myself, I've done my self care, I've gone to the gym, I've had a protein smoothie, I've gotten and prepared my work for the day already done, right? So
Let's
I'm
get it.
feeling good, I'm feeling great. By the time I get to where I'm going, if that's changed or altered, and now I don't feel how I felt when I left the house, grateful, thankful, amazing, excited about the day, somewhere along the line, somebody else's energy became my energy and I didn't even
Man,
notice.
man, ain't that the truth?
So now I got to take inventory. I got to take stock again in the moment. Hold on, I was feeling good.
Hey, that's how I be. You know what I'm saying? Like hey, look, because you know what? If if life isn't always changing, that means that you're not moving progressively moving. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? One thing I always say that, you know what I'm saying? One thing about people always be like, man, I just want to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about being comfortable is comfortable. You don't feel nothing and you ain't doing nothing either.
Right.
And it feels like you good, but you're
Mm-hmm.
not growing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to progressively move and stay in that positive vibe, man, and getting up
Yeah.
in the morning is the most beautiful thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? So Oracle, we coming to the end of the show, you know what I'm saying? And so
Okay.
I want people to be able to let people know what your handles are, you know, and then also things that you may have be coming up, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely you'll be coming down to Chicago, coming down
I'm so
performing.
excited.
And so, you know, I'm looking forward to it. We gonna have a ball, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna be kicking it. But go ahead and tell people about your business and everything else that you got going on and you know.
Let the record show that we both wore gold and gray. I'm just saying, and
Look at
white.
that. Look
Okay.
at that. Look at that.
Let the record show that we came here with the same vibrations. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
I definitely can be found at 13 Sing Oracle. And I think it's 13 Sing underscore
I
Oracle.
gotta get your man. I gotta start putting people's stuff up here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my bad as a host. You know what I'm saying? So next shows, y'all gonna start seeing where these people's stuff at. You know what I'm saying? I'm
It's
sorry.
coming.
Go ahead.
It's coming. You're the best.
Ah,
13 Sing Oracle underscore. And it's like that on TikTok and Instagram. On Facebook, it's Anicia Rochelle. Yeah, lots more content on the way, juice on the way, poetry on the way, daily journals on the way. So, yeah, get into some journaling. Write down what's happening, where you're going, what you're doing, and how you can grow and evolve for sure. 13 Sing Oracle.
man, that's what's up, man. Oracle, it was a pleasure being able to have you on the show for the night.
Thank you, Jarmel.
Thank you so much. You know what I mean? It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure, you know. Um, getting ready to be able to close this show out. Oracle, thank you again. I'm getting ready to close it out. You know what I'm saying? Stay right there though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you in.
Okay, thanks.
Hold on, let me get this in. Boom. All right, so y'all, man, peace and blessings, man. I appreciate y'all for being able to come through for another show of Just a Thought. You know what I'm saying? And man, just leave in peace, making sure that everything that you're doing in your life that you become abundant and that you're doing the things that you want to be doing. Don't never let anybody be able to take your joy, take your spirit, take anything, take your confidence. Become the greatest version of yourself that you are trying to become. No matter what it looks like right now, it gets way better. Your life is happening for you, not to you. Don't fight it. Let it happen. You're living in the moment and you're living to be able to receive all the blessings that the Most High has for you. You know what I'm saying? And as we do it always at this time, we be able to close y'all out with another song from the boy Jarmel Reese. You know what I'm talking about, man? It's hey, man, children of the sun, man, because that's what y'all are, children of the sun. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese. See y'all next week. Peace. Yeah, yeah. Pay attention. The fifth dimension. Yeah. It's that fifth dimension flow, you know what I'm talking about? Turn me up a little bit. Let me get in. Yeah, hey check. Hey, let me give you all a grand rising. Hey, wipe the veil from your eyes and look up in the sun, see the horizon. The end of your mental perception. Forget your perception, cause everything you learned was deception. You know it's a lesson that's been displayed. So either you frontline or afraid. And I promise y'all, fear don't live here, so chill here. The best period, let me end my sentence. Before I say another word, make sure it's indented. I've seen a lot of birds go, now it's the egos go. You messing up the ego with your ego flow. They say I'm arrogant and self-centered, but only half of that is true. I keep myself centered with the great divine. Now my conscience and my soul has been all aligned. Looking for my higher purpose every day I gotta find. I gotta grind, but ain't no time on it. I don't believe in time, y'all, so ain't no time on it. I stay heavily sedated while I'm meditating. And all these numbers on this clock keep me calculated. My DNA done been activated. I know it's quite different from what you anticipated, but boy, I've been levitated.
Children of the sun, children of the sun, children of the children of the sun, children of the sun. We are the children of the sun, children of the sun, children of the children of the sun, children of the sun. We are the children of the sun, children of the sun, children of the children of the sun, children of the sun. We are the children of the sun, children of the sun, children of the children of the sun, children of the sun. We are the
Hey, God's willing, yeah, God's willing. That's why y'all suffer, cause you don't know you like children. It took a long time for me to beat this. Then I
truth, there'll be trouble. But I refuse to live my life inside a bubble. Oh well, do tell, we living in parallel. So what the hell, ain't no hell, we already in hell. It's like your body all free, but your mind in the cell. You know everything about nothing, you ain't knowing yourself. It's absurd how I play with these words, go critique this. I'm talking loud and clear, so you ain't never gotta peep this. But peep this, you can keep your thesis what Jay Reese is. I'm underground playing, boy, I'm playing with them ethers, with them ancestors. I play beyond blessings, this life is not real.